This conference will now be recorded.
Good evening, everyone. I am Rajni Jain on behalf of agricultureinformation.com. I'd like to welcome you all to this online meeting. Please take a moment to review the guidelines for this online meeting posted in the chat window. I now request the moderator, Mr. Lakshmipati, to introduce the speaker and start the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rajini. Good evening, everyone. I am Lakshmipati and I will be moderating this meeting. Agricultureinformation.com likes to welcome to this meeting Mr. Punnam Veera Reddy, the Managing Director of AG Bioteck Laboratories, India Private Limited, Hyderabad, Telagana. Mr. Punnam Veera Reddy will be speaking on the topic tissue culture, teak plant production, and their performance. I now request the speaker to begin.
Mr. Reddy, you have logged in from 2 devices, right?
Okay, shall I stop the phone?
In your mobile, you off it. Otherwise, it will echo.
Yeah. Okay. So good evening to everybody. Is it audible?
Yes, it is audible. It is audible. Please go ahead.
Okay. Good evening to everybody. This is Punnam Veera Reddy, Managing Director, AG Bioteck Laboratories, India Limited. Today, I want to share my experience with the tissue culture, production of the teak plants, as well as their performance in the field. As you people are aware that I have started my tissue culture, my career during the year 2088. Later, I joined some commercial laboratories and academic institutes. Later, we started our own laboratories. Along with me, some other 10 to 15 agriculture graduates. This AG Bioteck Laboratories India Limited, way back in the 1992. From there up to today, we are now doing the tissue culture of many plants, maybe flowering plants, foliage plants, fruit plants, medicinal aromatical, as well as the woody perennial plants. In this connection, we started to do the tissue culture in Tectona grandis. And I will start my slideshow, then you can go for it. As everybody know that what is the tissue culture, what we are using it. You know very well that tissue culture offers a viable alternative method for the vegetative multiplication, which is more of 100% uniformity in growth and development in the field. And the majority people knows that mainly because we are working on the tissue culture, only a single principle, that totipotency of the cells. Everybody know that totipotency of the plants, every cell of the plant will become a full plants. That's why tissue culture is more success in plant kingdom than compared to the animal kingdom. Same principle we started it. We have mainly worked on the selection of mother plants. For example, today tissue culture means almost we got 160 tissue culture labs in India commercially producing different types of tissue culture plants, but only few people are working on the woody perennial plants, and everybody doing only micropropagation. We are not changing any genes, we are not changing any DNA, we are not changing any morphology, we are taking selecting the mother plant, taking a meristem and multiplying. That was micropropagation. In my view, is the art and science of plant multiplication in vitro. The process may include many steps: selection of the mother plants, taking care of the mother stock, explant selection, season, sterilization, then media manipulation to get the proliferated rooting and acclimatization growing into the plants. To get a desired plants, we have to work out all these processes in the micropropagation tissue culture. This is a simple system we are following in our laboratory. Selecting the clones or preparation of the nutrient media, then selecting the donor plants apical meristem, then sterilization of the explant. We use different chemicals and other things. Inoculation of the proper nutrient media, then producing the multiple shoots. Then we'll repeat whether, for example, each crop having its multiple cycle, like banana to eucalyptus or teak, they have different number of cycles. We have to fix that, then go for the shooting and rooting. We do 100% in vitro rooting in teak, Then for export, we'll send from the lab. From the domestic market, we'll bring to the greenhouse, then shade house, then open area, then transfer to the growers field. Especially, we are working since almost 2000, this tissue culture in forestry species. Inside, we are selected because of some corporate sector. At that time, they approached us to do the tissue culture in Tectona grandis. At that time, we are the first commercial lab to produce the tissue culture plants. Last 15 years, we are supplied to the growers. And many people know that teak is very hardwood plants, and we are not making any hybrids. We are not producing anything. Whatever there in the nature, the plus trees or plus candid trees which are there in the forest department or from the growers, some individual farmers also, there we are going there selecting the mother plant based upon some characters, the timber quality, height, girth, and how is performing compared to other plants. Based upon that, we selected the mother plants. From there, we selected the meristems, bring to the laboratory, and producing multiplication in the lab. Here, we are working almost 1 year to first year to make the plants to become a rooted plants, whether the multiplication, how many cycles we have to go, then the shooting, then rooting, when we do in vitro rooting or in vivo rooting, what is the quality, everything. It took almost 2 years to standardize this protocol. After that, we started giving to the farmers. Once indexing the known viruses, we given it. This is how we are producing in our laboratory, the LV plants, multiplication. This is the facility. We got the lamina process, the incubation facility, as well as the inoculation facility. And generally for hardening of the plants, when we export or we are even sending to our greenhouse or hardening center from the laboratory, we generally pack in the sterile packing under the laminar flows because it will avoid the desiccation and other things. This is the packing. This is the primary hardening, either the GP pots or ordinary pot trays. Then we go for the secondary hardening, whether we are doing in Australia, Malaysia, even in Ghana and India. We'll do the secondary hardening centers in their respective countries to make the acclimatization to the local climate, so it will not die in the main field. And this is the plants we supply to the main field, which are ready for main field planting, almost 1 feet height, 6 to 7 leaves, and less than pencil thickness, and the bark is woody color. That is the minimum symptoms of the hardening of the plants. Then this is the packing and sending to the domestic market, to the farmer fields. And mostly, I wish to say that all the people who are actually attending this now, what's the difference between the tissue culture and ornamental seed stumps? You can see the left side that the tissue culture plant, the root comes from the end of the shoots, because here we are doing the multiple shoots, then inducing the roots. Whereas the ordinary plants, whether maybe a seedling stumps and other things, what available with the most of the nursery people, that they make it from the tree, they make a stump and do the rooting. As you can see the difference between the tissue culture as well as the normal plant. This we can see it. These are different plantations. When the planting, the drip irrigation, how is the growing it. You can see that in tissue culture, one very unique feature is, especially in tree crops, 100% uniformity in height, girth, even length of the internodes, even dropping of a leaf also, everything is uniformity. Generally, most of the farmers, they will ask how to plant it. We recommend minimum 1 feet by 1 feet, 1 cubic feet or 2 cubic feet, 2 feet by 2 feet, 2 feet the feet. Dry for 1 week or 10 days. Then add the topsoil, farmyard manure and neem cake and a single super phosphate, and fill the pits. Then start irrigating it, leave 2 to 3 days. One is dried up, then take the plants and put into the bags. And you can see the plantation when it's 3 months old, the height, girth, and even uniformity, leaf size. That shows the efficacy of the tissue culture plants. This is a 9 months old plantation, almost 40 acres near Visakhapatnam. This is also in Kadapa, in one of the plantation. See the even leaf dropping also is uniform. This is the farmer when he was the 6 months old and as well as 6 years old plantation. You can see the uniformity in height and girth. The soil has little bit black soils here. Nowadays, see, teak is only one crop because farmer has waited 10 to 15 years. Sometimes farmers cannot wait, small farmers or marginal farmers. We are encouraging the intercrops. Up to 3 years, people you can see right side, they are doing the maize, when pulses and also thing. Some maybe a corporate farmers or employees which are option landlords, they are going the teak with the sandalwood as an intercrop. Teak and sandalwood, I got even 8 years old plantations. You can see the Commissioner of Horticulture, Government of Telangana also visited some of the plantations. Some of the enthusiastic progressive farmers who are growing a teak along with the sandalwood. You can see even 10 years old plant also they put some sandalwood or same time plantation of the sandalwood also there. And you can see the circumferences at the 5.5 feet height, 2 feet 5 inches to 2 feet 6 inches at the year of 6 years. Same plantation, the 9 years, we got 36 inches, almost 3 feet, which are ready for harvesting as per the forest terminology. You can see the grooming and the base also, 9 years old plantation. If we cut it also, you can see the heartwood formation. Almost 90% heartwood formation is there after cutting this trial plantation. Based off the trial, we harvested the main field also. In tissue culture, most of the plantations, when we cut it, it is regenerated automatically. Maybe 3-4 branch side shoots will come. We'll allow the shoot which come below the root zone. That will go very fast. You can see within 45 days how fast is growing in the plantation. And you can observe very clearly, this is a 9 years old plantation, we cut it, how much heartwood formation is there. Literally, there is no wastage in the sawmill. You can get all the sides only heartwood, full color of red, skin color. See the logs. See the logs uniformity. All 90% of the heartwood formation and uniformity. And in tissue culture plants, the tapering is less when compared to the natural growing plants. Top to bottom, maximum 2 to 3 inches in each log. That's why we are getting more yield per tree when compared to the natural growing or seedling growing plantations. You can see the uniformity. The logs after cutting, harvesting, these are the logs, we put it up. And this is the final logs which we are going to take the transport permit. This is a log number 1 because the base plants, and log number 2, log number 3, like that it will come. You can see. And this is a permission given by the Divisional Forest Officer Kakinada for cutting. This is in Andhra Pradesh. We have taken almost 1 hectare. I got 656 plants per permission. You can see we got 221.564 cubic meters of the logs, around 2,500 logs I got out of 656 plants. And from there, and 150, which is less than 2 feet, they call as a fuel wood, 150 CMT. Total I got the plantation per tree, we got 317.564 cubic meters. But each plant is given 20 CFT wood. That means in 9 years, one tissue culture plant under plantation growth, we are getting almost 20 CFT. That is 9 years. Same plantation, we now got almost 50 inches circumference. That is the growth. Is now there in the plantation. Some of the people are visited. You can see the growth on the border, the uniformity, height, and you can see the. You are really proud with my farmers how they are doing. Recently, Dr. Chidananda from Bangalore, GKVK also visited the plantation. How they are going, how he is getting the 90% of all these things. These people have visited my lab plantations. I got even 1 month olds to 15 years old plantation in my farmer fields. Most of the research we are done in only farmer fields, not with my, because I got only lab, but not the agriculture lands. So these are our experience with the tissue culture teak. What I wish to say to the viewers, the tissue culture teak is 100% uniformity. The quality depends upon the selection of mother plants. So I went to different states where the forest departments, we have selected the plus candidate trees or plus trees from Kerala to Assam. Even Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Chhattisgarh. We have selected even Goa. Each nomenclature, we got the selections. If I got a farmer from Kerala, I can give only Kerala. If a farmer from Andhra Pradesh, I'll give the Andhra Pradesh clones. Because if I don't have any state the clones, I generally give the Maharashtra clones, which survives very well in any climate because there are very hot growing plus trees. We give a little bit irrigation and nutrition. Those plants are growing very well in the fields. We have planted almost 23 countries, almost all the states in the country. Everywhere, my assurance to the farmer or grower, uniform height and girth in his farm. One field I may get me 40 feet, another field I'm getting only 20 feet height, depends upon the soil depth. Remaining, the girth, uniform, everything is more. Initially in the plantation, with the farmers are get the rainy season, if the rainfall is more, the drainage is not good, we are getting some root rot. We are able to control those things. In the main fields, because during tufans and the rainy season, we're getting some defoliators, skeletonizers. These are the two major pests we are seeing in the plantations. Otherwise, we don't have any problem growing the tissue culture teak, but provided irrigation is must for first 3 years. It may take 20 to 27 liters per day in summer. Otherwise, 8 to 10 liters is enough. So this what we experienced for last 13 to 15 years with the tissue culture teak along with other woody plants. And we are based in Hyderabad. This is my address. If you want any information, you can mail us. We'll give definitely what are the information required. Now you can ask any doubts. We can come back to you.
Thank you, Mr. Punnam Veera Reddy, for a detailed presentation and talk. I now request the participants to ask their questions. We'll also be posting the speaker's contact details in the chat window. Now over to the participants for questions. Mr. Venkat is coming up with the first question. Yes, Mr. Venkat. Mr. Venkat, your mic is on. I hope you are having a question to ask. Mr. Venkat, can you hear me? Okay, he's not hearing me. What about Mr. Sudhiranjan Mandal? Any question, please? Mr. Uday Kumar? Okay, Mr. Izuddin has got a question. Rates of tissue culture plants and minimum quantity for delivery he wants.
No, sir, in AG Bioteck, we are selling 160 rupees per plant, ex-Hyderabad. If they come and collect my lab, I can give one. If they want to send it, minimum one cardboard box which carry 50 plants. But transport is extra.
Okay, thank you for answering that. Mr. Uday Kumar has got a question now. Yes, Mr.
Sir,
Uday Kumar.
Once we transfer to a greenhouse, how old will be the, sir? Is it a 6 months plant and we can grow for 1 year and then we can put it in a field? How it, sir?
No, sir, in tissue culture, first 6 weeks you grow in the polyhouse or greenhouse for primary hardening. Again,
Okay.
after transferring the poly bags, another 6 weeks in the shade houses. Then we'll keep another 4 weeks out. 4 months plants we are giving. 4 months plants are sufficient to grow in field plantation. We need not wait for 1 year because if we wait for 1 year, root coiling will be there, growth is affecting. 1 feet height minimum, and 4 months old plants are suitable for growing in the main field.
Sir, other than teak, what all the other trees you do the tissue culture, sir?
So we especially doing Melina arborea, then this Ceylon rosewood, Albizia odroticina, some bamboo species, and sandalwood, Santalum album, I'm doing it. Then we got neem as well as kadamba, also some ekabilvam that we call Asil marmalis. I got almost 60 crops. In that, 10 to 12 crops are woody plants.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Now, Mr. Uday Kumar.
Yes,
Uday
sir.
Kumar, yes.
I've completed, sir. Yeah.
Okay, right. Thank you. What about Miss Patmaja? Mr. Jayaraman? Mr. Jayaraman, you have any question? Mr. Suraj Sebastian? Okay, no more questions forthcoming. We have come to the end of the session, looks like, and it's time to thank the speaker, Mr. Punnam Veera Reddy, on behalf of Agriculture Information, for taking his time to speak with us. I now request the organizer of the meeting, Ms. Rajini Jain, to please close the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lakshmipati. I'd like to thank the speaker, Mr. Punnam Veera Reddy, for taking the time to talk with us. I also like to thank all the participants for their time. The meeting will now be closed.
Thank you, ma'am.